What sort of misshapen madness have we made? Look at that wretched thing. Have you no shame? What damaged laugh it bellows? What filthy tears it cries? It smiles with disfigured silver tongue. It smiles. Dot dot dot. Get out. We know you're here. We speak of you. You. One with a silver tongue. Corroded skin. Broken horn. I hear a woman in the background. Listening to our thoughts, I see. With that weak power of insight. Haha. Get out. You have no place here, you wretch. You worthless piece of bile. Seize the one with the silver tongue and dispose of it. Us unconspicuous have no use for the weak and malformed. You hear us, silver-tongued. In your dying moments, learn this. You are a plague on this planet, a disgrace to our kind. You are nothing. Well, those weren't very nice things to say. I suppose the conspicuous matter was right regarding something. I may be born and worth nothing, but that's something I want to change. No more will I look down upon as a wretch, as a failure. I will thrive in this realm and claim it as my own. And I will do so with the only thing I have, my words, and the power of insights. A monster's insight. Okay, okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is a game called A Monster's Insight. I found it on itch.io. It's literally a game, kind of like as that text just said before, where you play the game by using your words, wordplay, to either trick, blackmail, or convince people to side with you, I guess. We're not human. I'm going to make that very clear. We are not human. We are the complete opposite. We are a monster. Now, whether or not the people that created this, or the things that created this, are human or monsters themselves, I do not know. But it's gonna be really interesting. I've never really played this type of game before, but I really like the art style. That what immediately drew my attention to this game. So okay, so let's see. Begin, remember, about. Oh yeah, a cosmic horror themed debating game. Yep, you can get it on itch.io and everything. Click with your mouse or press the spacebar to advance the dialogue. If you want to access accessibility option, then press the X key on your keyboard. For a puzzle section, use WASD or the arrow keys to move. If you want to delete a save file, hover over the chosen save with your mouse cursor and press the delete key. Okay, so that's just like the normal stuff. Let's begin. Alright, now you will choose a mode to play in. Adjustments here are not permanent. Changes can be made in Preferences menu later on. If you want to access more features, I.E. Dyslexic font self-voicing. Press the X key on your keyboard. Oh, okay. Select a template mode. Oh! Ooh, okay. So let's see. Assistant mode and extra eye. Emotion hints are enabled. Insight timer is disabled. Default mode, a silver tongue, enable insight timer during puzzle sections. Challenge mode, a broken horn. Test labels of whether you pass or fail are disabled. Okay, so basically emotional hints, normal stuff, and then stuff that would be a challenge, so labels and stuff. Okay, so basically the notification if you fail or pass are disabled on that bit. Okay. You know what, let's do default. Okay, that was a beat music. You selected the default mode. In this mode, you won't be able to see interlocutor states. I have no idea what that is. But you'll get test labels. Do you want to play in default mode? Sure. Excellent. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Call from the Land of the Lost. Okay. For a moment you don't remember where you are. Oh, I can move. Or how you got here. Are those eyes? Those look like very much eyeballs. You feel lost, unsure of where you're going, and almost unsure of who you are. You'd like to think that you're past your weaknesses, your defects, your insecurities. In a daze of confusion, sometimes being lost can make one's soul feel as if it's lost itself. Okay, this is getting deep. Then you see it. White light. A moment of clarity washes over you. And you found yourself in the chasm. Across the endless Melduvian River, a gargantuan beast can be seen engaging in battle. His opponent appears to be a hooked-back shark. The more hooked the back and braces, the stronger they come, as they say. As for the beast, he had no discernible features other than it spewing a toxic pink substance when it roared. Fairly standard large ears and trunk face, lilac claws, and a fur made of plasma. That's an interesting description. I can guess it's a beast of the burning star. I know this from reading on the subject of monsters, from observation using logic. Sure, it's a creature from the burning star. That's completely logical. In a matter of moments, the winner was decided. With a mission, the Sharhawk carries the plasma on the second hook back and flies away, leaving the meat of the beast behind. I wonder if it's safe to eat. Just as I take my first step into the door, I hear a shriek across the room. Kichi the parasite. Okay, hi Kichi. Silver-tongued, you have kept me waiting long enough. Greetings, Kichi. I've been waiting for hours. How was your day? Don't use your semantics on me. Oh, thank you, Kichi. My day has been spectacular. I had to withstand walking to and fro, watching a cat fight, and pick up after the leftovers, because that's going to be our only source of nourishment. I could help. Okay. There's knocking on the glass. If you let me out. No, you're in a jar for a reason. Yeah, not a chance. I think you're in a jar for a reason, my friend. This is Kichi, a parasite that once attached itself to me. Since I have insight, it was fairly easy to find it and dispose of it from my mind. But then Kichi started panicking and begged for its life. I promise it won't reattach to me unless I find it food and let it live here. I said I would agree to those terms. It believed me because I seemed to be, charming and agreeable, trustworthy and true to my word, and powerful and could be of use to them. Trustworthy and true to my word? What is that? Unsure, it looked like a beast of the burning star. But it would be just this pink liquid. Perhaps they're evolving as a species. Perhaps. I grabbed my tools and started hammering on the flesh. With no physical strength, I couldn't carry all of the meat back to home. Most of these meat sections were covered in plate armor since the Shargoth skinned the plasma fur off the beast. Speaking of evolving, let's talk about your siphon career. I have a good source of clients if that's what you're asking, but you're content with where you are? I already have plans to go bigger. What do you mean? My sights are set on a first milestone. A great terror. What? Don't think I'm capable. I let out a soft laugh and stick out my silver tongue. Today I wasn't just getting us food. I found a key to it before I found this delectable beast we're going to eat. It was casserole. Don't tell me this is you're going to siphon off of Fern Wet. Who other than the one of the lost? Ugh. Okay. Smiling, I start sizzling the meat of the hearth quilt beating. Okay, with the hammer. With my hammer. Okay, sorry. This whole thing, it threw me. Okay, I need to take a moment to look at the background. I actually like this art style. Like, I'm not opposed to this type of art style. I like it. Let's see, butcher stuff. like a blade, a stove. Oh, we have a overview of the city. That's not too bad of a look. Place. The odor smells delicious, like rusted wood and bromine. Bromine, isn't that a chemical? Sorry, I'm legitimately trying to remember what bromine is. I know I've heard of it. I'll look it up later. I hear a light spark sound, meaning the fire has melted the last chink in the armor. After letting all the oozing metal collapse and clear off any remaining silicone left on the meat, I pull back the hammer and start weaving the meat and carving out the trunks. What the hell are we even? What the fuck is this? I don't know. What is this? These creatures must be artificial. Because silicone in a creature does not exist in nature, at least in our world. Like, it exists, silicone does, I think, exist naturally in some areas. Or it's an artificial thing completely, but it does not exist in a creature unless an artificially created one. But out the trunks? Okay, and now the dish was finally ready. What the F is that? Then I squished Kichi's jar and let out the meat and its juices flowing inside for it to consume. It nibbles on some pieces before turning to face me. Alright, if you're going to do this, then you might as well get some help. It's always better to do some prep before you meet with any interlocutors. Do you want to do a little bit of refresher? Alright, let's begin. The goal of the dialogue you have with each intellector is simple. You want to convince them into choosing you as their siphon, whatever that means. A siphon is a being that needs to feed off the mental energy of others to survive. Wait, hold up. So they would, if I do things right, they would choose me to siphon off of their mind? Huh. Okay. Color me intrigued. But it's not just about surviving for me. It's about thriving in this plane. The more mental power I accumulate, the greater my power of insight will become, and the longer I will live. Greater terrors, like Fernweth of the Lost, will grant me greater mental power. Why do you need your power of insight anyways? Funny you should ask, Kichi. The power of insight is what allows me to get a glimpse of the minds of others, so you can see what's in their minds? And I thought this was going to be difficult. Seeing their minds isn't so simple as knowing their current thoughts, Kichi. It's like jumping into a pool of all their ideas, memories, and experiences and feelings. It's easy to get lost in their head if you don't know where to go or what to look for. The power of insight acts as the access point and, if strong enough, can be my guide when inside their mind. Let's start with you as an example. Wait, what? I did not ask for this silver tongue. I laughed. Too late. Okay, use the arrows or the wands to move. Oh shit, what's in hacking, voyeur, and key? Whatever it is the answer to input. Normally there's be a timer, but this can be adjusted for the preferences from the preferences menu. If you can't figure it out, use backspace to save and continue. Where does backspace to exit Kiji's mind? Did you just enter my mind now? Let me guess. Your head is a bit light and dizzy. You feel as if you're blanked out for a second. Correct. Wait, so that means you intend to use the power of the insight during the dialogue? When else is better time? You didn't need to do this for your client in the past. Well, my clients are easy to convince. Now we're going up and proper worship terror. All tricks and tactics should be laid on the table. Yes, I suppose though. Kichi fidgeted and moves around in its jar. But your power of insight alone isn't enough to convince someone. You don't say. I thought I could just go up to someone and say, "Greeting, fellow associate. Could you be my source of power from which I will leech on indefinitely?" But no. You need to spin in a way that can be mutually beneficial. That is true, I suppose. But no. What you need are the three P's to assist you. The three P's? Ichi, there are three things you put into a conversation. Or, as I like to call them, the three P's. Presence. Presence. Scene, and perception. Each is valuable in their own way and can be a key to success in winning the dialogue. It's also known as winning their favor. Your presence is how you control your demeanor in the conversation. It's your ability to manipulate how you come across or present yourself. There are three traits that presence encompasses: charisma, how agreeable and charming or likable you are; reputable, how trustworthy, honest, and respectable you are; and supreme, how powerful and strong you are. This controls if you're the dominant, or the one who leads the conversation. Note the word appears to be and things are in air quotes. Treacherous, repulsive, and weak. Because frankly speaking, you are neither likable, trustworthy, nor powerful. I grab Kichi's jar and tighten my grip. You. I'm sorry? Did you say something? Not at all. I laid down the jar. What I mean to say was this. It doesn't matter who you are, it's who you pretend to be. It's the ability it's the ability to hide yourself, I guess, and present yourself as someone more convincing. Okay. Next one is prescience. It's your ability to recall facts and use. Oh, and use your reason. Okay. There are two traits that compose your prescience. Knowledge is how much you know things or how cultured you are. If you go scouting or digging up some dirt on an interlocutor, you gain more knowledge. And intellect, your ability to make sound judgments and use logic. These can be used if you were to dig up some old dirt on them. Well, you can't introduce it straight away. Hey, I'm here to blackmail you. Isn't all that convincing? Why not? When they feel threatened, they can beat you to a pulp with your malformed body and lack of strength. It would be too easy. As much as I detest that idea, Kichi is right. I'm not one to use my brute force as a weapon. That's why I take it to a playing field where I stand a better chance. One involving less punches and more words. Finally, there is your perception, which has one singular trait. Your ability to notice important words, pointers, or body language cues. This trait cannot be negative. You mean perception. That's it. Perception has the trait of perception. This is a ridiculous naming system. It is. That's how I'm going to fit in the 3 P's. Anyways, your perception is a crucial ability. This determines whether you can pick up on important words or body language. Important words translate into pointers, and body language translates into cues. You don't say. Indulge me for a second. First, I will explain pointers. For the sake of argument, let it be said that I said the following sentence. After walking past the shop, I arrived at home. Fairly innocuous statement, right? Let's say you had greater perception. Maybe you'd be able to notice a word. After walking past the shop, what shop did you walk past? The Uldinor store of supplies and syringes. What you just clicked on was a pointer. Okay. You need to press / question me about the pointer word. In this case, it was the shop. So you asked me what shop I was walking past. You may return to the original text, aka what Kichi would have said if you didn't interrupt. But sometimes, an interruption can lead to a separate train of thought. Sometimes there may be multiple pointers in a sentence, and you may be forced to pick one. So you may have to decide that what should be questioned or not. After walking past the shop, I arrived at home. And where is home for you? Near the Maldivian River across the banks of Bahu. Sometimes the better option may be to let the intellect keep talking. If you keep pressing them about words or keep interrupting them, they may get annoyed. This will close them up, and they'll reveal less information to you. You can see the state of the interlocutors by enabling a state in the menu. This state will show a bar that's half full, half empty. If the bar goes empty, or if the one is closed, it's game over. You've pestered them too much and they'll stop the dialogue. You can unlock keywords by opening up the one. This is done using your presence trait. So that's pointers done. Next are cues. Cues are hints of body language. Words alone don't tell the whole story. Mannerisms of person can change everything. Let it be said that I saw Urada yesterday. Kichi bears eccentric claws, reserved body language. See the eye marked next to Kichi? Hover over and text will appear. You use the body language Kichi is giving is one of that is reserved, being that it's trying to hide something. It could be that Kichi is flat out lying, or Kichi is hiding some information regarding the encounter. Let's say I use a different body language instead. I saw her yesterday. Kishi's skin is shining, repressed anger. However, okay. Kichi's body language represents anger. You can deduce that there is a strained tension in the relationship between Kichi and Uralda. Clearly, Kichi did not want to see them that day. I think you get the rough idea on how cues work. So to summarize, their presence, prescience, and perception. Kichi's prescience has the charisma. Presence has the charisma, reputable, and supreme traits. Prescience is knowledge and intellect traits, and perception has the perception traits. Perception can be used to notice pointers, important words, and cues, which is body language. For every single interlocutor, I know there are multiple strategies to pursue. They use a unique combination of Kichi's 3 P's. Sometimes you can make yourself appear as a psychopath to lower their guards. Negative, supreme, or positive charisma. Perhaps you can find some blackmail or bribe them. Positive knowledge. Occasionally, I'll refute their ideas and convince them why they need me as their siphon. Positive intellect, positive, reputable, but most of the time, I just go with what feels right and adjust myself to the situation. So, are we clear? I think we're good to go. So, when are you meeting Fernweh? When I hear their call. Eh? Do they have some telecommunication network? If only, but no. Their home is the chasm and usually nobody can get in. But since I've been there before, I think I can go there again. I tried getting into the chasm this moonrise and it worked. Although I'll have to be careful not to lose myself in it. Should be easy enough. I'm used to navigating people's minds anyway. I wonder what his mind looks like. You grab your journal and some papers you have lying around. Your journal keeps track of all of the keywords you have uh, sure of what to do. It's best to equally distribute the stats. Usually you want to pair up 2 to 3 traits together. And usually two present two present stats and one pre-signed stat, but this can vary. Perception is really useful for getting important keywords, but if your other stats aren't good, then perception is useless. In terms of focus, you could do 2 presence and 1 perception, 2 pre-signs and 1 perception, or ignore all perception and do a bit of presence and pre-signs. Investigating all your points in one single stat is a mistake. Any strategies involving blackmail or uncovering dirty secrets will usually need supreme and knowledge, and occasionally intellect and negative reputable. Keep in mind, once you ask about keywords and you go inside their mind, then you're locked down that strategy or route. With this in mind, distribute your 3 points. Oh, okay. Click on the plus sign to add 1 to your stats. Click on the word of the set to represent stat 0. Wait, what? Hold on. Click on the word of the stat to reset the stat 0. Okay. The stat point will be transferred to your overall point, which can be spent elsewhere. Okay. Oh, there's my points. Okay, there we go. I don't know why he was put there. I didn't put anything into Supreme, but I don't think I would need to worry about being scary right now. You read the papers. There are headlines of Jack Rabbit and the missing minds of Lucinscape. Good, now you have a choice to make. Either you can go digging for some information regarding Firmer, or you can gain more points to boost your stats. On this evening, you decide to, let's do information. As prep for the dialogue, I usually search for information regarding the ones, who in this case will be Fernway. It's always better to stay one step ahead of your opponents, and that means knowing more about them than they know about you. There isn't much time until the dialogue starts, so I should choose carefully where I go get my information. There's a Golban near the Maluvian River who's obsessed with studying great terrors, or there is Narkichi knows that runs a bar, and I'm guessing he hears a bunch of things from different folks. that studies the terrors seems like a logical one, but if I say want some dirt on this guy, possibly going to the bar would be a better idea. Huh. Let's go to the bar. Hey Kichi, what is it? You said that you know a guy who runs a bar? The Gennard? Yeah. He runs a bar called Zilker near Murongo. Be quick because it closes right about now. Right. On it. It took a while to get to Zilker. Morongo isn't a simple walk away. Just as Gennard was closing up, I asked if I could borrow some of his time. Annoyed, he let me in for one drink. I only had the time to ask one question. Gennard didn't have much to say on Fernworth, but one of his clients did. Apparently, there's a secret map that allows one to navigate the chasm. The client said something about finding another device and that the map isn't the only way to navigate it. Something vague like that. But it's interesting how this was deemed to be important information. I thanked the Gennard for his time and the good drink. Before leaving the Zilker bar, your preparation time for the dialogue is up. I should have gone with the person who researched the terror. The Silver-Tongued will attempt to win the favor of the interlocutor. Fernworth of the Lost. Hold on. Can I turn on the... that? Yeah. Save? Oh, save. Yeah, this would be a good spot to save. Almost instantaneously, I feel my body collapse into the floor. And soon after, I was dragged to the entry or the core of this plane. In that moment, I wasn't falling down, but instead, I was flying down. As the second passed, my home seemed more of a memory. And then a stranger. Everything was spinning in motion, yet I felt strangely unfazed. I knew what to expect from the great cosmic terror. The fall felt never-ending. The impact was going to be severe, but I never really hit the ground. A few minutes passed as you tried to recuperate from the fall. Oh, it takes me a few seconds before I could fully comprehend what had just happened. The humidity is almost suffocating, and if you look long enough, the grass shards and walls look back at you. Oh, so those are eyes. I don't like that. The air, frigid and moist, should give a clear sensation. Yet my body feels weak and light, almost as if I don't exist. Oh. I see Fernwood form itself around me. It wasn't like the figure coming closer from the distance. It's more as if they were already here, waiting for me, and choose to reveal themselves for now. Their figures stagger above mine, yet yet their ethereal form and lifeless eyeballs make them see less threatening. Greetings, Silver Tongue. I was told that you have come into my castle. My greetings. At this phase of the dialogue, this is where you make your first impression, and where you dictate the tone of the conversation. Oh god. How did you know I was Silver Tongue? Good to see you asking questions. But there's no point to it at all. Well, it wouldn't be to my benefit. Why is that? I don't have a comeback yet. Best I drop the subject and move on. Anyways, I wanted to ask what brought you here. That I could ask. Do you know what a siphon is? No, please explain. It's a being that... Is there any way I can put it this nicely? Needs the help of others to survive. Is that another way to say parasite? Kichi would be fuming if he was here. No. The siphon is not attached to the host. It just needs a deal. Yes, a deal to progress. What deal do you speak of? One that is mutually beneficial for both parties. They turn their back against me and start to float. What's the point? Well, you could gain something out of it. I'm not talking about stupid siphons. I mean the point of it all. I should try to say something now. The best I can do is let them talk. Based on their general ambivalence and disinterest in me, it doesn't look like charisma is going to help a lot. You know, I've been thinking of a lot of things. Yes, I've been thinking a lot about what there is and what there isn't. What I mean to say is that in this moment, my epistemological status is being questioned, as well as my metaphysical one. What a load of nonsense was that? I need to be on the same wavelength as them, so I can get through. Questioning can be good. You wouldn't get it, so you don't know who I am, so you can't make assumptions about what I will or will not get. I suppose that is true, but sometimes I doubt you're even here. Sometimes I think conversations are useless, but sometimes I think they're concrete and undeniable. I may not be their therapist, but them opening up can only mean good things for me. But this is all irrelevant talk. I don't think it's appropriate for me to discuss these things with you. What I need is an answer relating to why you're here. Well, I told you that, not how you got here or what you want to speak with me about, as in, why are you here? I'm sorry. Only those who have fallen astray land in the castle. I know that you tried to enter against the wishes of this place, which seems incredibly bizarre because I haven't seen such an entry in a while. You're either here because you deserve to be, or you have breached an access point which should be illegal. I need to think fast and know what they're talking about. My mind is pulling a blank on me. This is okay. I'll run with the latter option. Sure, I breached an access point, but I'm figuring this. If it was such a great deal, you'd probably have done something to be right now. But you're choosing to keep me here alive because this is an anomaly. I will speak words. Anomaly you haven't seen before. Wise choice. I have a lot to give. Brighter skin. They seem generally interested. Huh. What sort of thing could you possibly offer me? Oh, I don't know. Some insights? What did you say? Whoops, maybe I'll keep the tongue in check. Cheek references to myself. I said some greater understanding. I can tell you've been lonely for a while. Their appalling social skills, weird conversation, and lack of coherent thoughts are great indicators that they haven't had a conversation in probably years. I won't be swayed by this. After this, you'll have to go. Are they going to kill me? No, they wouldn't have done so by now. This is just a bluff, I'm sure of it. But in your last, final moments, I will tell you this. That everything you will say will be irrelevant. You will be disassembled and lose yourself to the chasm like no matter how hard you try, little silver-tongued, you'll be in the place where you're meant to be. I was told that I was meant to die far too many times to take this talk seriously, even though this discussion has me at the sentry. I need to refocus back on Fernworth. I can either let myself continue to be in the sentry and, through this, reveal what Fernworth has to offer, or I can completely shift the focus of the conversation away from me. And where is that? Fernworth begins to turn inward, within the chasm forever. And why do you believe that? It doesn't matter what I believe, it's only the way things are. Your idea on the way things are is not infallible. You're a figment of my imagination. I couldn't possibly understand why you'd contradict me. I'm sorry, what? Something that cannot exist, a figment of their imagination, something in their mind. Are you kidding me? How on earth am I supposed to win Fernworth's favor if they think I'm fake? That I don't exist? You can try to convince Fernworth you exist, but you'll need a strong case and you need them to trust you, or you can break down their walls, find a weakness, but you'll need a strong conviction. So how come I'm talking to you? Why, it's simple. There's either two possibilities. Eyes are shaded. They're telling the truth. 1. My monad is being supplied with nutrients inside a machine meant to simulate reality. You just described the Matrix, which includes you to be part of the reality. but I'm nothing more than just a bunch of nuts and bolts meant to reassemble a person. He nods their heads. Or two, there's some malevolent demon who attempts to deceive me in believing in a non-existent world. He conjures up locations, people, and such with his incomprehensible powers, and solely for deceit. Wow, talk about being self-centered, or being a solipsist. Must take an awful lot of brain power to be this self-deluded. So I'm either working for a devil, or I'm an artificial simulation. I wish I could say, oh, I didn't mean to insult you. Of course I don't think that. But I honestly don't care. Interesting. Guess I had to find some way to convince them to take care about the siphon. Or maybe I can use this to my advantage. But first, if this the place I'm meant to be in, then I should get to know it. Could I ask you how the chasm works? It isn't complicated. I see. I never told you as to what I do here, have I? As a terror, lure anyone that's lost into the chasm. What constitutes being lost? Someone who is lost needed to have believed in something, only for it to have been taken away. You can't be lost if you never had anything. So isn't it about what you don't have, but about how great the fall was? What a tragedy. These lost beings may have doubted their reality, doubted their purpose, or doubted even existing. If it's to the point where it's or if they decide to follow, may call before it's worsens. Then they'll find themselves here with everyone else. First they hear my call, and soon they'll follow to be here. Lost. Then the chasm itself corrodes your very being, reducing you to less than nothing. And any remaining debris looks like fractured glass, like shapes floating astray. Through this, we can feed the chasm to continue thriving, and feed me so I can live. But if we aren't here, then what would happen? People will still come to the chasm. They would just have to find their way themselves. Almost everyone goes through me first before I see them here. Except for you. I didn't anticipate that you would be here, which is quite strange. But you'd be taken care of in a much more interesting way. I don't like the sounds of that. Because if you aren't lost and somehow got in, that means the chasm called you, not me. And why? Why, the lower you go down the chasm and the closer into the earth, the more lost you are. There are different layers to this place. First is First is for those with simple doubts. They may not even disappear or simply wander back. The second are those who fully acknowledge that they can't know everything. And the third are those who undergo a classic existential nihilism. The fourth are for those who are truly invisible. No purpose, no direction. The fifth are for those who think that reality itself is a complete farce. And sixth are those who doubt they even exist themselves. Incredible, no? That sure is something. You seem to be an inquisitive creature that seems to amuse them. The questioning will now begin. Use the key words you have so far to ask Fernworth about them. To do this, simply type in the key words you want to ask about, or perhaps you can ask about non-key words too. But be warned, because once you've asked a question about a keyword, that's it. You cannot go back to it. Do you have anything else left to ask? Oh fuck, what keywords? Map. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Do you have anything else left to ask? Oh, sorry. When you type in the keyword, press enter. Do you... Okay. Maps. Lost. You say there's always a time for everyone to come to the chasm. Yes, I did say that. But... are you lost? No. But you said earlier how you think that I'm a figment of your imagination. Someone that doesn't exist. Correct. So that must mean that you've lost touch with reality. Or you're starting to doubt reality itself. What layer would be put on? The fourth, or maybe it was the fifth? Silence. Enough with your questioning. This isn't going anywhere. They're just too deep into denial. Silence. Uh-oh. I will hear no more of your nonsense. If you're going to have an ideology, it needs to be consistent. Stop. Look at me. You should have disappeared by now. Look at me. Why? Oh no, why aren't you going away? Please, you're being hysterical. What little blood they have in them must have evaporated because it is boiling. It raised one of its sharp, spider-like legs around my neck. Hysterical? Hysterical? Oh god. What is this? Well, this hysterical can snap your neck off. No use in killing me if I don't exist. No use in keeping you alive either. As long as I'm in your mind, I'll always be born again. Of course, I certainly won't. I'm just going on the assumption that Fern will believe this. Frankly speaking, I'm shivering and almost terrified for my life. Isn't a fighting terror per se, but with my fragile malformed body, they could easily break me. Don't insult me again, please. I'm not here to insult you. I'm here to deliver the honest truth, and it's this. Which is, think. I guess I have to take a look inside their mind to see what's going on. Press C to interact. Okay. Mirrors are blank. It brings back luck, bad luck. When love is blank, can never heal. Broke? X R X X X N. Can I just go around the bar? Place an answer here. Start typing below. Press enter. What? Oh, I didn't mean that. Incorrect answer. Right. Z. X R X X X N. I have no idea. Place an answer here. Start typing below. Press enter to close this message. Oh fuck. X R X X N. Incorrect answer. I can't. Spending too much time in the mind of another person can cause strain on your mental energy. Unfortunately, it looks like your time is up in navigating from his mind. Wait, if only if I... After I was booted out from his mind, they turned and gave me a soft smile. Good. They don't seem to have taken any side effect from my insight, meaning this probably won't suspect a thing. I see you have no more questions for me. Well, I appreciate your time here. Thank you. It's not often I get to experience the company of others. Wait, I have one last thing to ask you, which is, would you be interested in an exchange? Mutually beneficial, of course, but it's something that could change your life. Ha ha ha. Silver Tongue, why would I ever want to make a deal with someone who doesn't exist? Oh, Golden, they still think I'm a fake. The chasm now beckons for you to go. Wait, I just need one thing from you. The first floor will close. I suggest you leave. Your soul. Your soul. And with that, they're gone. So I left the chasm empty-handed. Unfortunately, you failed to win Fern's favor, and have lost the first dialogue. But sometimes, you have to live with these failures to push on forward. The story will still progress with this outcome. Now the conversation, you will state stats earned. Now that the conversations, all your stats earned during the conversation will be reset to normal. After all, present indicates how your interlocutor perceives you. Once you're done seeing them, these stats play no role. All stats gained during the conversation with Fern will be reset. Don't worry, all points you've signed beforehand will stay. Here we can save your progress by overriding the save in the first file slot. Would you like to save? Yes. Your game have been saved. Oh, good God, my head hurts. Ugh. In spite of the outcome, one question still lingers in
on your mind. How did I even get to the chasm keyword in the first place? I remember darkness, an inky glass-like dripping blotch of nothing, and then I saw red light. I returned to the present at the Moldovan River. Fern may have been delusional, but they were right about one thing. Only those that are lost can even enter the chasm to begin with. And Fernwe may have called me for the dialogue. But someone called first. Someone who gave me the chasm keyword. Maybe they were right. The chasm did call me. And if that were true, stop. I don't need to go on needless tangents right now. So what if I have doubts? Doesn't everyone? And what does it matter if the chasm called me? I doubt I'll ever see it again. Some questions can be answered. As you were deep in thought, you turned your head toward the Bahug Bay. Across the horizon, you noticed a new phrase eclipsed the sky. I don't think I've seen this one before. There are signs, voices, and noises relating to the fair surrounding you. Disembodied mouths and screeching from the void starts whispering in the ear of passerby. Oh, that's... Need something to relax? Something to ease your worries? Feeling directionless? Losing heart? Tired of feeling at all? Join the fun fair, where all your cares can go to waste. Sign up! Sign-ups are free! We have free fresh juice and snacks. Advertisements for the fun fair. What kind of snacks do they have? You pick up a cube of goo from the dock floor. Snacks include gloomy liver, tart salgar, and classic homemade salt and gnats. Oh, Kichi loves salt gnats. If snacks are free, I might as well take the charity. You turn to whisper in one of the disembodied mouths. Hi, you guys were saying something about free snacks? Coming right away. The mouth begins to eat itself and then spin outward from where it was. It orbits around an empty point in space while simultaneously rotating on an axis. Then it comes to a stop. Open the top of my head. Inside were the snacks listed on the cube of goo. Gloomy liver, turts, and Please take the fresh juice too. You oblige. Congratulations! Your ceremony of commencement will begin shortly. Pardon? My ceremony of what? Now that you've given into the desires of delectable dinings, we think you're ready. Ready for what? We've always been proud of you. You've been like a son to us. The game a catch you couldn't reach, so you fell down, and there was no one to catch your fall. A different mouth approaches you, but now someone is here to catch the fall. We're here, Gabe. Ready to catch your fall. First off, my name isn't Gabe. Secondly, I'm just going to take the snacks and go. No. Don't you know? When you join the fun fair, don't you know what happens next? I haven't joined anything. You took the snacks. You're in. I'll return them. The first mouth interrupts the second mouth. Wait. We apologize. Perhaps you weren't ready. We're sorry we let you down, our sweet little child. At least you'll attend orientation day.
For what? The fun fair?
On the fun fair is an one-off event for the core muum who is all and one. Wait. The core muum? Oh yes. Sorry, we should have led with that first. Is a collective hive mind. Instead of a terror or a brute force, they've infected other words to conquer them. Offering free snacks at a quasi-carnival wouldn't be how I imagine running into one. So, orientation, what is that again? Well, we would introduce you to the philosophies of the Vena Carva and say why you should join us. Sounds reasonable. That may be true, but if I don't join, they will certainly kill me. And if I don't agree to do the orientation, they'll kill me too. Just my lucky day. But maybe I can turn this into my favor. I was wondering would it be possible to meet the Cormune? Oh no, you don't understand. It's all of us. Cormune is one. It's all okay. Is me and Cormune is you. So right now I'm talking to Cormune. Yes. I don't think any of you Vena Carva lackeys are going to convince me. If I'm doing an orientation, I need to hear it from the core of the hive mind themselves. Interesting. Nobody cares to meet the one who started it all. If you meet the Cormium, you will consider joining the Vena Carva, yes? Most definitely not. Most definitely not. But I need to get out of this conversation. What time works for you? Well, how about tomorrow? That also works. Good. Good. They dropped to the floor, then dissolved. I think I can get out of this one. Maybe. I'm sorry. You did what now? Trust me, Kichi, this is going to be a good thing. I don't have a problem with the whole joining a collective hive mind thing. That's your choice. But meeting Cormune? What possible reason do you have for doing that? I didn't do the best with Fernwith, but I need to move on from that. So something undeniably more dangerous? I didn't die last time, so I better stay on my lucky streak of living. Why would you Cormu ever let you be their siphon? They're a collective hive mind. They have better things to do. One mind or many. Everyone has their secrets, and everyone can be exploited with insight. Oh, I also got you some snacks. Salt mats. Oh no. Wait. Aren't you distracted me from the current issue at hand? I take the salt mats over to the hearth and start sizzling them. Kichi stops and starts drooling over its four mouths. Turt salgars were smoked and dusted can act as a good seasoning over gloomy livers. I start preparing that dish on top of a hearth and in this compressing chamber. Whilst the food is being molded and heated, I take out the fresh juice and make 2 glasses, and a small shot glass for Kichi, and a medium-sized one for me. Livers look a little underbaked, so I set a light and re-squeeze its juices. So, what are you going to do? I'm going to try my best to convince them to let me be their siphon. I'm not talking about that. I mean, how are you going to win Cormune's favor? Look, I think it's time to eat. I plate the seasoned gummy livers and salt mats. They wibble and swim around. Don't sweat a thing, Gichi. I got this. And I have some time to prep for tomorrow. Tomorrow is in a few lunar hours. I know. You have a location? Yeah. I know where I need to go. No worries. By the way, if you want help, Gennard's work at the Silkers. Thank you, Kichi. We ate the rest of our meal in silence. I turned off the noise machine to ease the room, but the only thing we heard that night were the noises from outer world and their cries from the blackened skies. With nothing better to do, I picked up the papers on the floor and started reading them. Headline: Morgo, the Destroyer of Worlds, has recently been granted the standing of Great Terror. After the crusade against the Planktonian dimension, he has now accumulated enough cult followers to earn the title. Great Terror are indifferent to the change. Old Terrors are disputed, and Dark Terrors want him dead. You have 1 point left to reassign to stats. Presence. Or you can focus on information to gain keywords also. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for this video. I'm going to pick this up in the rest of this in the next video. Oh good God, I don't know what exactly I was expecting from this, but holy hell. Okay. Yeah, no, I need to take a minute to recuperate from that. My brain is melting a little bit. I know I have a notebook in game, but I think I'm gonna have to have a notebook in real life. That way I can keep track of all this stuff. Good God. But yeah, this is Monster Insight so far. I think maybe I did some stuff wrong in the first one. I don't know. But I sure want to return to my menu. I just saved. Yeah, no, I'm taking a break. Like, subscribe, notification stuff. My brain hurts. Like, straight up, my brain hurts right now. See you in the next video on a Monsters Insight. I honestly thought I could do one video of this. My brain hurt too. My brain is melted. I'll see you guys in the next video of this. Bye.